Hello, Cinecine here. And here's another thing besides the transit crisis on Long Island and the not enough bus runs in Westchester that Kathy Hochul needs to fix and address. Because it is getting to be out of control. Even though it was a couple years ago I stopped having to deal with it, but the New York State high schools, they're just out of control. Like their standards, the graduation requirements, some of which, unlike the one I was in, you have to like pass a CPR test. Now what the shit is that all about? Come on! You go to school to be educated, not to pass a CPR test that doesn't get you certification. That's right. You go to school to learn, not to get yelled at and go to after-school detention for making a good point. Which fortunately I didn't have to do. High school didn't do that, but these schools are making education a lot worse than it should be. With all these requirements. And dude, that English test, it was just a nightmare. It's 15 grade levels higher than it should be. Counting both the inflation for like English versus math and the grade level it really should be, and then how many grade levels they positioned it upward on top of that. Okay, here we are. I know we're at Old Country Road, but I'm going to continue going upward, up another hill. Anyway, that was an unrelated note, but Kathy Hochul, you need to get rid of these Regents requirements, especially the ones for local diploma graduation, because local diploma does not have the word Regents in it, so why do you need to take the Regents test and pass one for that reason? Out of control. You, Kathy Hochul, need to fix this mess. I know there's the crime issue in the city, there's also transit issues, but this is important because there's a lot more special needs high school students coming recently. Or, you know, maybe the transportation crime is more of a big deal, but this is also a big deal. And then designing the school bus system to be so cheaply run that it's not safe, and it's uncomfortable to ride. Okay, that's some people I couldn't catch on camera, but this system is just out of control. Me and my best friend from middle school and high school, we both struggled the same way. He got forced out by those bullies at school. They just couldn't meet either of our needs because of what the state is governed by. The school tried everything they could, but the state just made it so that we couldn't get our needs met. Because they just don't care. This is probably going to be a long video, but I think that in order to get a Regents diploma, you should only have to take the test and work hard. Same thing with getting regular high school credits. You should get them just for working hard in the course, because that's what matters, not these scores or standards. You work hard, you get the credit. That's how it works, period. Because it's not right to give people no credit after working hard. And whoever made this system like this, you are a screw job. A screw job. Because you need to pay for this, whoever designed this place. This like school system like this. Okay, we're still in Garden City anyway. Eastchester. Actually, Eastchester is a pretty nice school district. But even outside of, there are even many more high schools that are worse than the one I went to. Have even more ridiculous requirements than when I was there. Even when I was there, I wasn't aware of all the stuff that my school had, or other schools did. So Kathy Hochul, you need to fix this mess. And if you're short on money, the elementary schoolers have more than the high schoolers. So don't cut field trips that are recreational for the middle school and high schoolers, and don't discriminate against certain people for not being in a certain class or not being first call. That's against the rules that you make yourself. Somehow you get away with it, but it should be against them. You should be punished for saying to certain people, sorry, we don't have capacity, or sorry, you're not in a certain class, you don't get to go on that field trip. It's a crime. And all these schools that have done that should be punished. Mm-hmm. As I was saying about elementary schoolers, they have more to lose, so we should spread the fun evenly between elementary school, middle school, and high school. And there shouldn't be such a thing as homework unless there's a study period that guarantees that you'll get credit for all the stuff you can get done in there. And some students, like, passed me but not present me, and also passed my best friend from those years needed to have a recess. And those people who didn't need it were taking it away from us in high school. Mm-hmm. So why can't high school be more like elementary school? People are often forgetting how much fun they had in elementary school, how much better it was. They even say that middle school is worse than high school. I think high school is middle school on steroids, with even worse problems. And it's not the students, other than the Irvington BOCES socials, that were bullying. It was the state who was bullying the students. And yet they want people to sign an anti-bullying waiver that prevents them from bullying. Prevents them from bullying, yet they're bullying the students in their school system themselves, especially the high schoolers. That's what I've got to say. Mm-hmm. And shame on you, New York State government, for treating your high schoolers like this. Bye.